Hey guys, I hope you had a good 2 weeks. Sorry about not posting a video last week. I was busy setting up a new computer rig. It's pretty awesome if I do say so myself. While streaming, people often ask me, how do I get started making video games? Well, I'm here today to answer that question for you. This is not a tutorial, but more of a do's and don'ts of beginning game dev. The first thing you must do is determine the game engine you wish to start with. This is largely unimportant, as game engines all do kind of the same thing with their own pros and cons. Learning an additional game engine is easier once you know one. Do not start out by making your own game engine. That's for advanced developers looking to learn how a game engine is made. Some existing game engines to look at are Unity, Unreal, Godot, and Construct 3. I'll focus on just Unity because that's what I know best, and I really enjoy the programming language that it uses. Speaking of, Unity uses C#, so you will need an IDE, rather an integrated desktop environment, to code in. The IDE makes writing code easier with code hints, auto-completion, and hotkeys. It does a whole lot more, but you'll learn that as you use it. You have a few choices here, as this is more about personal taste than anything else. Visual Studio Community, Visual Studio Code, and Rider are three good options. Visual Studio Code is a more lightweight version than Visual Studio Community. Rider, however, does cost a little bit extra, while the other two are free. You do not need to go out and buy art. Games are art, and as such, the game developer is an artist. If you are not already comfortable making art, this is a perfect time for you to learn both skills simultaneously. For 2D art, I suggest looking at Krita, Inkscape, and Aseprite. Krita and Inkscape are both free alternative versions to Photoshop and Illustrator respectively, while Aseprite is a $15 spriting software and animation software that is available on Steam. For 3D, look no further than Blender, which is free. Do not go out and spend exorbitant amounts of money on Maya or 3ds Max or other Adobe products. On the topic of money, I cannot stress enough to use free and available tools. Don't go buying lots of assets, models, and software that you may never use. That will only lead to buyer's remorse, which may hurt your drive to continue learning. So now that we've laid out what tools you will need to learn, let's focus on ways to learn those tools. YouTube is an excellent resource. YouTubers such as Brackeys, Dapper Dino, and Infallible Code are excellent at explaining concepts for beginners. I will put their channel links in the description below. Udemy.com offers courses on all of the tools I have listed. However, Udemy does come with a small cost, but it may be a bit more of a personal learning experience. Learning directly from the source is also a great resource, as Unity offers a course of their own at learn.unity.com. Use the documentation. All of the tools that I have listed have free and available documentation online. These docs can answer most beginner questions. College is a path that I and many others took. However, it's not necessary. Many people drop out of college after 6 months to a year after learning that they don't really enjoy the process of coding. I think it's far more important that you first make games and determine if you enjoy the process before committing to such an expensive and long-term investment as college. Other people that I know have reported different experiences. However, for me, college was largely a waste of time and money. Game dev is a labor of love, and as such, probably will not make you rich. Don't expect to reproduce the financial success of Minecraft, Flappy Bird, or the likes. Those are exceptions to the rule. So now you've followed a tutorial or two and are looking to start your own project. The most important thing for your first project is scope. Do not jump in thinking you'll be making your masterpiece. Your first game is never your masterpiece. There'll be plenty of time for that later. Start small. Copy a game such as Pong, Asteroids, Snake, Breakout, or Tetris. These games have very clear and easy reproducible mechanics for you to focus on. Don't be afraid to add twists. Game dev is a massive, constantly evolving field that covers a huge range of specializations. There's always more for you to learn. This is a long-term process, and it will take you many years to get good at. Don't expect to know everything in a few weeks or months. Game dev is incredibly challenging, and you will struggle at it, and you will get stuck. So it's important that you engage in a community. Community serves many purposes. It helps keep you motivated by seeing others' work, provides you a place to share your work, as well as give others feedback and ask questions as you have them, and you will have them. I and many others have a Discord community full of talented developers that are available and enjoy answering questions. Don't hesitate to join in. Live streams are also a great place, as you get to study and experience developers' process in real time. Learn through imitation, do as they do. After this craziness that is COVID-19 dies down, check out meetup.com for a local game dev group. Having some real-life friends that are devs is incredibly helpful. And surround yourself with people who know the skills that you desire to learn. Learn off of them. Once you're a bit more experienced, consider joining some game jams. There's always a jam starting or going on. Check in on itch.io to find some that you may be interested in. Finally, the most important part is being consistent. As I stated before, this is a long-term process. You'll have days with no motivation, and it's easy for one day off to turn to two, to turn to a week, to turn to a month, and before you know it, you have to start all over. Set aside a specific time, schedule it, and stick to it no matter what. You must push through the difficult times to be successful. And that's it, guys. That's how you can get a successful start in game dev. Stick to these tips, and before you know it, you'll be deving with the best of us. If you're interested in any of my Unity assets, check out my Unity asset store. The link is in the description down below. If you'd like to play any of my Game Jam games or asset demos, head over to my itch. Be sure you tune into my live stream on Twitch 4 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific. Link is in the description down below. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Special thanks to my Twitch subscribers and backers on Patreon for making my content possible. If you'd like to see your name on this list, head over to my Patreon. Link is in the description down below. And finally, thanks for tuning in and watching the video today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your quarantine. I'll see you next week.